Well, hey, thanks for stopping by. I know I have been super grumpy lately, so I do appreciate you stopping by. But it's a beautiful spring day today, and I think if we do some springy kind of things, then maybe I'll get out of this funk. Come on in. Can I get you a cup of coffee or tea or some other hot beverage? You know I'm on a budget, so I don't have any like Starbucks right now, but I can offer you a piping hot cup of coffee or tea or whatever you would like. I might even have cocoa somewhere. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking for today. I got an email this morning from the local garden center that it is the last day for buy one get one 50% off houseplants. I was going to go look tomorrow, but I guess that means we should really go today. I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance on my vehicle because, you know, it's a 2002. Gotta add oil once in a while between oil changes. It's just, that's life. And also, do not attempt to do what I'm about to do without a funnel because it's a talent I developed as a mechanic's daughter. So get a funnel. I don't own one. I just developed this skill and I don't recommend it for the average person. Buy some funnels. They're not that expensive. I should really buy some funnels, honestly, just as a safeguard because, you know, sometimes even I get muscle twitches. Weird, but true. So I'm thinking we're going to hit the garden center. I do want to stop at Dollar Tree, look at some Valentine's Day stuff. And where else are we going to go? I've really been wanting to hit the library, but have not made the time for it. And we can talk about why I've been avoiding the library once we get back and sit down and chit chat, because that's another story. Another thing I would really like to do just to kind of refresh the front porch is just do a little bit of maintenance on the planters that were out there and, you know, from last fall. I might look into getting some new front door mats. It's faded, it's totally functional, but it would be nice to spruce it up a little bit. And then, of course, you can see inside. I had this one from fall, and I went to go actually switch it out for Christmas, and it's still fall because I forgot that my Christmas one last year bit the dust. And so I didn't buy a new one this year because I thought I already had one. So I don't know what I'm going to do for the indoor. I always think I'm going to like crochet these things and then, you know, just don't get around to them. And, you know, we all have heard the, you know, why buy this for $7 or something when we could make it with $94 of craft supplies. I don't know. Cause I don't even keep like crochet cotton really on hand very often, except, you know, if I'm going to redo a doormat. And I have done them before. They do last a while. I think my last one lasted like somewhere in the neighborhood of like 10 years, but it eventually just will fall apart just like anything else. It did last longer than any of these like mass-produced ones though, so maybe I should think about making one. That's not going to be a today thing. Not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to also go ahead and put away some of the Christmas stuff. The cats have even stopped playing with the wrapping paper. They're kind of done with it, so this stuff can go away and, you know, maybe just feel a little bit more springy. I do want to switch out my wax warmer to one that I had gotten recently, and I don't know why I forgot to get the base where it can just sit on the bookshelf and not on an outlet that queso will run into and spill warm wax everywhere. Never happen. And that's actually not an experience thing. I know how he is. He just is too rambunctious. He's cute, but he's such a boy cat. I'm going to go ahead and order the little base so that eventually I can switch out the wax warmer. I mean, I know it's technically not even spring yet, but it just feels so springy. And I think maybe that's why I've been feeling so just like, is like, I'm like feeling like spring fever. I've also not been good about taking vitamin D. So yeah, lots of room for improvement for for Miss Holly. So anyway, we'll get started on some of these little projects together, and you can work on whatever you feel like working on, whether you are decluttering, cleaning, or if you're just along for the ride, that's awesome too. I decided to start on the front porch area and just use some leftover compost from last year that I didn't get to. Again, it's a higher end one, totally unnecessary. It was just something I had wanted to try and didn't get around to last year because I already had enough, and so no sense in buying more. And so yeah, I'm just going to use that after I trim off all of the dead annuals from last year, and then that will help amend the soil before I pick out annuals this year. Of course, if I would have had my stuff together in the fall, that would have also been a good time to add nutrients back into these potting soils, but we're doing it now, and there's still plenty of time to get all of the micros, like organism benefits from adding a new layer of compost before we add in flowers for the season. That already looks so much better even without a new doormat, so I'm really happy I don't want to say forced myself into it, but I did kind of have to get myself motivated. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get our shoes on and start heading out the door for some of our errands today. Obviously, the Hoya Chelsea is not doing so hot, so... And also I wanted, I think they're called like lemon lime pothos. I've had them before, and well, we all know what happens with plants eventually. So I definitely want to get some of those and see what else there is. I'm going to keep my eyes out for anything else. I might replace the welcome mat in the front door. I did get that one originally from there, but it's what, 3 seasons old, so of course it's faded, and it still works totally fine. So it's not a top priority like if prices went super crazy up or something, but obviously like if it's a decent deal or it's on sale, I might pick up a new one. I am absolutely shocked that it's like so beautiful. It's 45 degrees out, which in February for Northeast Ohio is pretty darn good. Like, I'm seriously getting ready to ditch my hoodie, especially going into the greenhouse. Sometimes the glass will make it a lot warmer. Not that that has anything to do with anything. So I'm really surprised that it's Sunday and there's like almost no one here. The only thing I could maybe think of is that the late masses haven't quite let out yet, but I thought they would have by now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of while it's quiet and yeah, see what they have for buy one, get one half off houseplants. I'm gonna have a hard time controlling myself. I just know it. I just do. I'm also going to look at seeds too, because the containers of ones that I had saved for myself, I've decided, even though I haven't gone back in that room yet, those I need to let go, because last year even was just not a great gardening season for me. So that's my sign to just start fresh. There were some very specialty seeds that I will order from a university extension, but they have the ones that I want in particular in stock. So I'm gonna go ahead and order them. If they happen to run out of stock before I hit place order, okay, I'll live, I'm sure. So we'll see what they have. Try not to go overboard. It is nice to get out in the sun. I do already feel so much better just being out. Sometimes it's so easy to get like in a funk and be like cooped up and be a couch potato. But anyway, I'm gonna go in and see what I can find. Some of the stuff I've been wanting has really started to come down. This is getting dangerous, Don. I would like to get another string of turtles at some point, but someone may or may not have destroyed them at one point in the past. I tried so hard to resist this pottery. There's a lot of really great new pots here, but I mean, you saw me put so many of them in the garage from just clearing out my room of shame. But those are like, these speckly ones are really cool. I hadn't ever really seen anything quite like that. The only thing is like their proportions were a little awkward for a lot of plants. But it's actually kind of interesting because now that I'm seeing this back, I see where like that one in particular would look fantastic in that pot, but maybe if it was like a larger version. But I'm also someone that sometimes I will go for the smaller specimen of plant just because of the fun of growing it. To me, that's what I enjoy the most out of it. So I'm trying not to get any pottery. Okay, I believe the word I used was try. I didn't say none, I said try not to. So this one might have followed me home. 2 hours later. What a gorgeous day. It did pick up in there a little bit. Just not as much as I really thought they would. It's weird. And I was there for a while. So, I mean, part of it is, catching up with old coworkers but I can always spend forever taking my time looking at plants and seeds and that sort of thing. You know, weird but true. It was actually kind of funny because then my successor was like, oh, hey, well, these things aren't done because, like, we just sealed the floor and everything's in the back. And I'm like, dude, I'm not your manager anymore. And honestly, even if I was, like, I know how those things go, like, turning around from Christmas to spring. So the stock wasn't out as much as I was hoping for stuff like, the front door mats and stuff like that. And that's okay. It'll just give me an excuse to go and visit another time. By some miracle, I actually finally remembered to bring the clothing donations from clearing out the room of shame from my Clutter Chaos series. And also, I remembered to grab a book that I finished for, I think I got it from Dollar Tree, and some Amazon returns to take to the UPS store, the stuff that gave me horrendous allergies. And then we're going to hit the library, and I don't know what my selections say about me right now. I also decided to pop into Goodwill for just a little bit, just to see if there's anything to mix up my wardrobe a little bit. I did almost get that mustard yellowy one, but I don't know. I ended up putting it back. It just wasn't calling me. Okay, so before we can sit down and actually do any repotting of any of these plants or just take care of them in general, I should have done this before we left the house, but I have nowhere to even set them down. So, let's take some time, clean it off. Obviously it's YouTube, so copyright, but, I'm going to insert a playlist. I picked the first song and I'm going to let YouTube Music do its own thing. I have premium, totally not necessary to have like a premium, but I justify YouTube Premium because I don't do any kind of like Spotify or iHeart or any of that anymore. So to me, it just makes sense to have everything all in one. I'll try to find some bangers in stock music, but it is what it is. The only reason I'm being so, I don't want to say neurotic about cleaning off the table, but why I'm making so many passes on it was I had been using like Pledge and other waxy based things that created a buildup, so it really took me that many times to get it all off, and even the towel I was using got so sticky and tacky from all the buildup that I just wanted to throw it out instead of risking having it go into the washing machine. I really think the theme of this week is stuff that I didn't think all the way through. I know I have a ton of new friends here this week, and I am so grateful for you. If you happen to see my last video, where I thought I lost footage or I forgot to hit record, and I found the footage, and it turns out I don't know how to file stuff. I put it in the wrong folder. So I was getting so mad at myself when I had it the whole time. I just misplaced the clip somehow and forgot that I even filed it, apparently. But, so I hope you enjoyed coming with me to some of the stores. I spent a little bit more than I had intended to at the plant store. I feel like that always happens though. And I didn't even get the neon pothos that I set out to get. I think I had said lemon lime philodendron, or lemon lime pothos before, and that's a philodendron type, not a pothos type. Also, you may hear me say pothos and pothos because I really don't even know the right way to say it, and I've heard it both ways, so sorry. Anyway, you know what, let me go ahead and start repotting some of these while we chat and get some updates going on, you know, just life and trying to reset ourselves and not be such a grumpy butt, because I know I was such a grumpy butt. It is absolutely not necessary to spend, you know, $100 or $120 on houseplants and soil and some other things too. Yeah, totally not necessary. I was going to limit myself to 4 plants, which did not happen. Well, actually, I set out to get 2, and then I thought to myself, well, I'll let myself have up to 4. Didn't happen. I guess on the upside, the day after we went shopping, my direct deposit hit for a reimbursement for work that I actually completely forgot about. So these are basically free plants. That's like the whole thing now, right? Girl math, like you figure out ways how something is like practically free or, you know, whatever. I had a whole plan of a cardboard box, and then like it was messing with the shot. So let me think about what else I have. Hang on. Again, because, you know, I didn't think things all the way through. I'm still not. I'm just kind of making this up as I go along, if you can't tell. So, couple things you might be interested to hear about. Maybe not. We're just gonna sit and chat and, you know, do things that friends do, which is chat and do little chores or whatever together. Keep forgetting stuff. Hang on. The other thing is, I've had a few people ask about crochet content or something of that nature, and that was an intention of mine. And it still is, but a crazy thing started to happen. It turns out, and I know this from like a scientific like background, and also having worked at a place where there was a lot of nickel, like that it is entirely possible to develop an allergy to things. And, you know, even if you didn't have them before, but just by repeated exposure, you can absolutely develop an allergy. And so, and I know this because, well, I just know it's a thing. And they used to track us, like every year we would have to get, you know, tested and make sure we weren't starting to get, you know, signs of developing a nickel allergy. All that to say, turns out it is possible that after years and years and years of getting one's nails done, I might have to repot this one off camera. You might not see all of this because like this is not how they're supposed to be. And it's not the garden center's fault. The suppliers that do this, and it's like, it doesn't matter if it's the garden center or Lowe's, or it's rare to go anywhere, any kind of shop, and have it be in proper orchid stuff. And this is like way too packed of peat. That's why I keep clipping off like either rotted or like whatever. So turns out after years and years and years getting my nails done, I have developed an allergy, which turned into like crazy, like itchy, dry skin. And no, it absolutely was not an infection. It was not. There is actually an allergist in my same work building. It was allergy. And I don't have full pictures of like all the hives and all that stuff, but I don't want to hurt it. Sorry, little guy. This orchid is going to go through some trauma today. Sorry, little buddy. Promise you'll be doing so much better after all this. So yeah, so I was getting like hives all in here, and it was itching like crazy, and then it just turned into very, very dry, miserable, flaky skin that, I mean, I really have not crocheted or knitted hardly recently, because like you know how you get those little dry skin spots? It was catching on the yarn, and like, I don't know, it's like, you know how when you have like a microfiber cloth and your dry skin like catches on it? That's kind of what this was doing. And so that is not fun. This isn't fun either. Oh my goodness. I mean, otherwise like the roots are good, but so yeah, nothing catastrophic, but it's just a little annoyance, and I just haven't been knitting or crocheting so much because it wasn't fun or comfortable for that matter. And just like that, like magic, repotted in correct crumbly, chunky orchid mix. Not that packed down peat. I've never seen one this bad, and I mean, granted, it's been a while since I've done an orchid, but this poor thing was probably just starving for air. Orchid. If you get an orchid for Valentine's Day or like Mother's Day or anything really, first of all, do not water them with ice. That drives me freaking crazy. Like, you're just trying to like slowly freeze the poor guys to death. I mean, I know it melts, but that's awfully cold water for a tropical plant. Clearly completely losing my train of thought. I meant to also mention, check out Miss Orchid Girl for all tips related to orchids and any kind of repotting tips and tricks. I will try to remember to link down below, so if I forget, yell at me in the comments. I don't want to feed these a ton because it is winter. Still technically going into spring, but it's a good time to get plants started to get a little bit of feeding. Speaking of Valentine's Day, so that's why we actually stopped at Dollar Tree. My dad and I actually do a little bit of an exchange for Valentine's Day. Nothing fancy, like that's where this, you know, super fancy mug originally probably came from, was my dad. So it's usually like Dollar Tree or Dollar General stuff. Nothing crazy, doesn't have to be expensive. Just, you know, just a little something for fun. Because, you know, why not? And every year I complain that there's not enough cards for dads. But I don't know how many... Do you do Valentine's Day with your dad? I don't know. Or has anyone done that? I just, you know, I guess we never really grew out of it. You are going to go in the bedroom where I want you to be. So I also didn't want to go overboard on Valentine's Day simply because... like, we do like little, usually candy for each other, but Lent starts right after, no. Does Lent start on Valentine's Day this year? I think that's, Either way, there's not much time for him to eat his candy before he gives up candy for Lent. That's what he does every single year. It has not changed. Speaking of Lent, do you do anything? Like, I feel like some years I give stuff up and some years I don't. Every year I mess up the meat thing by like the first week because I'll forget that it's even Friday, and so that's like a whole other thing. This poor little guy. And I knew this one was not in the best shape. It was the only one, and the reason I got it was like it seemed like a more affordable version of like a Pictum tricolor with like this camouflagey looking, you know, foliage. There's nothing really alarming about what it is in, so I don't even remember which pot I picked out for them for this one. Maybe that. I mean, it's almost Valentine's Day, so I can get away with these pots no matter what. I don't know if I'm gonna give anything up this year. If I do, it's probably, I don't know, like alcohol pop, something I've been kind of wanting to get rid of in my life. And punchki. Does everyone know what punchki are? Because like I grew up always knowing what punchki are, and I am learning, especially at work, not everyone knows what punchki are. They're delicious, and you might call them pakzi, not punchki, but that's what how they're pronounced, believe it or not. And I'm gonna have to clean this all over again anyway. I guess I should address, since like punchki are basically like worse than donuts. Well, they are worse than donuts. Oh my goodness, that's hard.
That's what she said.
How would you do that? I mean, I know you don't want like soil going everywhere, but goodness. The average person should still be able to use it. I had scissors. Okay, so what are you doing? Can you not for 5 minutes? Thanks. We're talking to our friends. Thanks. No? So weight, and Weight Watchers. I will still say it is a good program for people who can self-motivate, regulate, discipline. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but you get the tone that I'm going for. All it took was like a few setbacks at work, and it really just messed me up. And then I forgot to. Yeah, you're fine. And then I forgot to track for a couple days, and then I felt bad about it, and then I was like, you know, I honestly really do enjoy working with, you know, one-on-one with a coach, not a trainer. Like I don't like someone working out basically with me. I don't know what it is about that. To me, that's like me time. But I did decide that I'm gonna kick it up a notch, and so weight-wise, like I'm back up to where I started. Just to clear the air, I have effectively lost nothing. You know, that is part of how we learn what's best for us. I did hire a coach who is someone that does. I don't know if I should be concerned or not. I think they're just walking and playing. Okay, it's fine. So I decided on, I'm going back to a coach. I chose not to do the bodybuilding plan with said coach. I'm just going to do like a normal, you know, I'm trying to lose some weight, get back into the habit of getting into the gym. And so you give them like all of your informations and stats and what your goals are. And they build a meal plan, and actually a good coach will build your own workout plan and meal. The like cookie cutter ones, again, if budget is a concern for you, a cookie cutter plan It's not a bad way to go, especially if you are feeling like you can do it on your own. And I know I can. I just, it's a preference thing that I just like working with someone else. So like, even though I don't like working out with someone, I do like that weekly interaction of like, here's my progress, here's what's going on. There's usually like a little bit of back and forth interpersonal stuff, at least again, for good coaches. So I did miss that. I do really miss having that with my old coach, which I would hire again, but I'll just say he's no longer coaching. Welcome to life. That was actually not the loss that I've gone through. That was actually about 1.5 years ago, at least. Maybe a little bit longer that Jerry's been gone, but well, it's better. This is like decluttering. I don't know. I guess it's just, as long as it's better, that's fine. Try not to pack the snot out of him either. So that wasn't actually the loss. Jerry passed like middle of 2022. So I'm used to that. It did kind of put a damper on it just because it is so hard to find the right new coach. But I found someone that I'm going to do the 4-week version and make sure like he and I kind of click and jive, and that the program makes sense. I did tell him I didn't want to get too aggressive. I want this to be a little bit more sustainable. I may change that at some point. I will still track stuff in Weight Watchers more out of curiosity than anything. So far, some of the foods I saw on the list that are, approved seem very reasonable and very doable for me. We'll see what happens. I've already forgotten which pot I wanted this guy to go in. I think I was thinking maybe this pot. I don't know. What do you guys think? I do like this style. That's a larger one. I do want to get another one for one of the other plants that I picked up with you. And yeah, I think that's okay. I think I'm okay with those proportions. I'll probably take this to the office now, along with this guy, because these are just gonna have to be on top of my standing desk, because that's where Queso and Chloe cannot get to. All right. Other stuff that happened this week. Took you to the library. I had not been to the library in ages. Part of it was I lost my library card. A bigger part of it was I knew I had fines that were, it was like $40 of fines, and I'm like, I'll stop one of these days and pay it, and then I just never did. And so I was just in that mood of like, let's just take care of this, honestly. So yeah, I'm the person that forgets to pay library fines or puts off paying library fines for far longer than any rational human being should. Now, I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, $40 of library fines? Yeah. I know people who have had way worse library fines, believe it or not. And I know, I used to know someone in the library system that she would tell me like some of the exorbitant amounts that people like will rack up in fines and fees and lost items, things like it happens. This guy was kind of a last minute, like I saw it out of the corner of my eye and I was like, this is, I couldn't not, it's pink, it's yellow, it's variegated, it's green, it's so pretty. But that's where I do want one of those ones. And I was determined not to buy pottery if I could help it while I was there until I could see what I had at home and remember. Now I can go in with a focused plan to get another one of those in that size, which means I should probably look and see what size that is at some point. Except for this, because it was just so cute. I don't have anything that's going to go in this right now, but it's cute. It's cute. I'm not even like a big heartsy, like romantic-y Valentine's person, but I don't know. I think I got to the age where I'm like, okay, even though I'm not that person, it is fun to decorate and get stuff like this, and who cares? So, I guess that's being 42 and learning the meaning of life. Just do whatever the heck makes you happy. So library card, and so, oh God, that was the even funnier part about the library card. Okay, so I've been putting off like paying the fines, and some of it was like, it'd be so much easier if I could do it online, and I, for the life of me, could not remember my library card or my login. Because it's like your library number and then a PIN number. For the life of me, I'm like, I can't remember. I used to have my library card memorized because, you know, I just did it all the time. And, you know, actually, I don't even know if I knew the numbers. I just knew the movements on the keyboard. So I get the new library card. I pay the fines. And so, well, no. In order to pay the fines, I logged in with the new library card. And so, because I didn't have quite enough cash on me. So I get the new library card, and, you know, I forget how many digits this thing is, but there was enough of the first few that were still kind of the same. And as soon as I started typing them, I remembered exactly my library card number. Like, down to, like, all of it. I just, it's so weird how our minds work. So, but I have a new library card. I was just kind of bummed that I lost the one that was like purple and teal swirl from the 90s. Because, you know, in high school is when they went to the plasticky cards, and high school was the 90s for me. So if you want to feel better about yourself, so yes, whoever said go ahead and get both pink ones, I got both pink ones, because why not? It was buy one, get one half off. And then the irony is that they were all ringing up like 25% off, which actually I think is extremely fair to do them all 25% off, because I was afraid that like the most expensive plants would all ring up for full price, and then like all the little like $8 ones would be all the ones that were half price. So I think that is the most fair way to do it. That's actually not entirely why they started doing it. Apparently people were returning the full price houseplant, and I'm like, what is wrong with people? Like, these are things I don't even think to do. Genuinely. I couldn't help it. So if you were in my community and you were helping me shop, guess what? I got them both. Along with everything else. And my cart changed several times over the course of my shopping, and even since I did the community post in that shopping. Oh yeah, check that out. So, and then as far as pottery, like most of this I had at home. I think this is an Amazon one. And like, I don't have an awesome system. I just plop stuff in until I'm like, okay, both fits, and, you know, I like how it looks. Anything else? Oh, there was talk about moving my desk at work. I mean, it's not like a widespread known thing, just between myself and, I report into general counsel, actually. So, and he's known that, like, I've been kind of struggling a little bit with, because, you know, I had to tell him, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get tested for ADHD, and also if they put me on some, like, hardcore something, like, what do I need to do? I'm a pretty open person when it comes to things like that, and also I didn't want to get in trouble. So that had been a discussion of moving me to a quieter area. I want to hold out, partly because I want to see what medication does, and also, like, I said my piece to the people at work, and I'm going to give them a chance to actually change and hopefully get better. And I've had actually like a week off, and it's been fantastic. Largely because I got to hang out with you, but also, you know, sometimes you just need that just, and actually, I was only going to originally take like 3 days off around a weekend, and then I was like, I'm gonna extend this, and my boss was like, yeah, sure, fine. These guys also got a healthy dose of neem oil when I got home, just because you never know. Ooh, that is gonna be real pretty on camera, I hope. I can't believe today's my last day off, and I have to go back to work tomorrow, which I do really enjoy my job. It was just really nice to have a little bit of a reprieve and take some time for myself, reset, hang out with you guys. But tomorrow is supposed to be super fun. I guess we're doing some kind of a Super Bowl themed lunch thing, so you can dress up in whichever team you were rooting for if you're rooting for one. Or the alternate idea was you could do a Taylor Swift inspired outfit or look. So I don't know if I have anything that really I can pass off for like a Taylor Swift kind of outfit, but I'll take a pass through my closet and just see if I can come up with something, because it does seem super fun. And I don't know how you guys feel about that whole thing. Anyway, back to work tomorrow. It is supposed to start raining tomorrow, which, you know, by design is why I extended my vacation. I saw the forecast and I was like, it's gonna be like upper 50s, and even today's supposed to be 60. Like, obviously I'm gonna take more time off. That would be just silly to squander this in early February, so I'm taking it. Hopefully Punxsutawney Phil was right and spring is just around the corner. I mean, I know we shouldn't trust animals, but kind of we should trust animals. They know better, but a shadow does seem a little sus. It is an El Nino year, so hopefully nice early spring. I just hope it's not like a sweltering, sticky summer, because that would be a bummer. But we'll just take it one day at a time and just enjoy every day we have. Oh, also, I did find a pot for the one plant, the one Aglaonema that I was gonna go and get a white pot for. I actually have like a little stash of empty pottery and pots right outside my back door for like herbs or marigolds or something like that. And you know, I get clutter blindness so bad that like I just wasn't seeing that particular pot. I kind of forgot they were there, even though like I see them every day, but my brain doesn't process them every day. So I just happened to be taking out some recycling and saw it on the way in and thought it's a little on the big side, but it works totally for now. And if you're a little disappointed that like maybe you came here for the Weight Watchers content, again, I'm still going to try to sprinkle some of that in here. I actually still really enjoy watching the channel Nikki Gets Fit. She's someone that I just like to have on in the background, so I think she's great to hang out with in my own YouTube viewing time. And not surprising, if you've been on the community tab, and I'll insert something maybe over here that shows you how to get to the community tab if you're not sure. I will be going live in the next week or so. I don't know exactly when, but I will post that for you. And we'll do some live decluttering together. And also I want to make that a bit of a Q&A. So if you have any questions that, again, doesn't have to be decluttering related, just if you have any questions that you want to ask me, drop it down in the comments below, or just head over to the community tab and find the post for just Q&A questions. It does really help if you put like question marks. Maybe for you guys it's this way. Anyway, if you put a question mark at the beginning, then I'll know that you really want that one to be featured in the Q&A. I'm getting hungry, so I know I'm gonna be like resetting my diet soon, and this seems really counterintuitive because it totally is. I'm really hungry and I really want some Chinese, and so I'm gonna hit the Chinese buffet for lunch and hopefully kind of last supper it a little bit, get that out of my system before I start the new program. If you want to continue to hang out, I've put a playlist right here, a video right here, and if you want to hang out more in the future or at another time, you can subscribe right here. Thanks again, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.